what's good? This is Corey, your friendly neighborhood massage technician, bringing you life, love, and liberation. And this is Healing Tones, where I come on here and bless you with some words, poetry, prose, movements, massaging techniques, with the hopes that it brings a light blessing or good feeling to your day. Right? Yes. So, today we have been going through our whole series so far. We have done the feet, the legs, the lower back, the upper back, the neck and head, the back of the neck and head. And today we're going to be going over the face and somewhat of the frontal part of the neck for today. All right. Yes. So, as always, we have to go over our little tools that we will use to be working on today. And we're actually not using any foam rollers for this segment of our foam rolling series because we're going to be using primarily our hands. So as far as our tools that we have for today, we have a chair which is going to be used to prop our hands up so we can do some massaging techniques for our face and some parts of our neck. We still have our maps, of course, so we can navigate where we are massaging our bodies, and we have our hands. Yeah, not that much as far as tools go, right? So we have that. And I want to start off by, as I have started off all of these episodes so far, giving y'all a little bit of nomenclature of the areas we plan to work on today. So, to start this off, we have first our skull. This whole big thing that's sitting on top of our heads, right? Which is actually primarily everything that is above the bottom part of the jaw. So everything from here towards the back of the head. This is the cranium. Yes. And the Latin nomenclature that they have for the cranium is pretty much exactly what it said. It's like it's, I guess, derivative, or its English translation would be the head, or like the brain box, what houses the brain. So this little all the way up through here is your brain box, and that's what they're saying. So we have that. We have also, let's see, here on the jaw, which is a very important muscle, is the masseter temporalis, right? It's what we use to, one, chew. And in essence, the name masseter is actually to chew. Is one of the few nomenclatures that they have on the body that actually describes what it does and not what it looks like. This is meant to chew. And it goes from, let's say here, which is let's say a zygomatic zygomatic arch. There you go. You get that name right. And it's pretty much here, the cheekbone, where the masseter starts for our jaw and goes down and connects this bottom hinge of our, I guess, our whole entire head here. It connects this bottom mandible, which is the bottom part of our jaw. Yes? So it connects here and goes up here to the top part of our cheek. This is the masseter. It's a very strong, powerful muscle, and that's what we use to grind down on our food and go pull it back at the side. And that's all a part of the movements that we get out of our masseters and how we talk. You know, it's a very useful tool. If we're talking all day, then this gets sore all the time. And it's usually, as I was looking it up too, the masseter in of itself is a pretty strong contributor to tension headaches, because again, if this gets tight, if these muscles get tight, it starts to pull down on our head, which again, creating that tension in the head would create tension headaches. So keeping this jaw relaxed out with some massage work is very important, just to ensure that you can keep headaches out headaches out of your head. Right. It's kind of funny that a lot of not a lot, but there's a majority of our, I guess you could say, head pains are actually muscle derived. And a lot of the workouts that we tend to do as humans out in the world will like go towards like building up our chest or building up our abdomen or building up our back and our legs. But it's very rare that we think about building our face and strengthening our face. But a large part of why you say people look old before they're old is because they don't relax their face out, or they don't put much attention on just simply, you know, um, releasing the tension out of their face. It collects a lot. Everybody's looking at you all day long. So just like that general stare of people in your face, like that's causing tension. That causes your face to squint up. The bags come in, these come through. All this starts to end up, it gets scrunched up, and you start to look old. Some of that can be remedied by keeping a regular massage routine for your face. Yes? Yes. Okay, so moving on, the last big muscle we're going to talk about this day, this Saturday, is the sternocleidomastoid. It's like one of the larger muscles of the neck along the cervical. Let me get my map real quick so I can show y'all what's going on. Got right here. And let me find the light, the right light. There you go. And it goes up here where the mastoid is. It's kind of where the back of the head goes down to the sternum right here, which is like connected to your chest, and goes across where the clavicle is. So hence the name sternocleidomastoid. Yes. So technically, well, some people like to call it the SEM, just kind of shortening up just a little bit. But in essence, let me get some of these little nomenclatures right here. The sterno, it's Latin for, the sterno is Latin for breastplate. So they're talking about this sternal breastplate, collido clavicle coming across here, and mastoid. Its derived name is actually how do you say, breastbone or nipple, right? Because what they're talking about last week when I was talking about the back of the head, the occipitals of the back of the head, those little handles I was talking about is actually that mastoid process that sits on the back of the head, and it's kind of like a little, it's a handle, and it's like a little protrusion, and the oid, it is kind of resembles a nipple. So therefore, it's like they're saying breastbone, clavicle, nipple, oid is shape. So they're saying like the shape of these three areas makes up this muscle. If that makes sense. Yes? Yes. So those three areas we are going to be focusing on, mostly all of like the area, the fleshy area of the face. You're going to be working definitely with this jaw to get some pretty good workouts or routines to release some tension from the jaw area. And then on the sternocleidomastoids, we'll kind of look into how to work those areas with our hands as well. And plus, I also need to relay a couple of instances of how to work these muscles. So I wanted to do another separate video that's talking about the technique proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, which is a particular stretch that helps you to fall deeper into the range of motion of a particular muscle or muscle groups. Yes. And there's a textbook way to go about doing this process, and then there's my personal understanding of what is going on when you're using this proprioceptive technique. Yes, so this may be brought up, or this may be broken into a 3-part series. This is the first one. I'm just giving y'all some of the nomenclature. Next video, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about what proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation is. And then on the last video, I'm going to show y'all some techniques to kind of work in getting some tension out of the eyes, on the top of the head, around the temporal area, this zygomatic arch here running down into our masseters and this jawbone, right? And into the sternocleidomastoids in these areas of the neck. Yes? So stick around. This will be a little bit, but we'll get through it, family. So catch me on the rebound.